morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, November 21st, 2025. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Friday, everyone. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame. The previous session, massive sell-off. Massive sell-off. Pre-market yesterday, we were talking about any failure to push higher and a failure to hold the previous session's high could return price to the midpoint and the previous session's low for a potential outside day in the best case scenario for bears. But the way it happened was much more dramatic, with a massive rally first, a big time meltdown off the 6,800 level all the way back down to 6,550 as a massive range, 200% plus of ADR, and that's a massive rejection. It's very, very different than anything we've seen lately. And the most recent massive 200% plus of ADR days have been sell side days, but we're still within this range. We're still sitting right at 6,600, 6,598 as of right now, and that is, still a level that could lead to a rotation back up within the range. We haven't yet failed completely. As a matter of fact, given the uptrending market, you tend to want to fade new lows. You tend to want to fade new highs. That right there is a new low at the key range low, the Friday low. And we're now turning back up. We have a developing thrust reversal buy signal right now. All of these things right now suggest a short-term rubber band effect after yesterday's big stretch. But after this bounce, do we start to see weakness into the market? Do we start to see a further downside break? This is going to be very interesting here, because the way that we have reacted here off the recent highs with lower highs, increasing volatility, a 200% of ADR rejection here, this could all be signaling more volatility and weakness to come. We're entering a new volatility window right now, which can tend to last 5 to 10 trading days. And that usually coincides with weakness of some sort. We'll see. Again, 6,600, very, very important here. This edge, 6,540, very important. We're sitting right on support, or right at it. This is a saving grace for bulls here, but if it starts to fail and we're dropping, if we push through these lows and start to transition down, 6,200 would be an easy target up ahead. Looking at the NQ, similar price action for the NQ. Massive day yesterday here with a huge outside day down. This one also failed to hold prices above 2-day highs, went quickly outside day down, and continued to drop throughout the rest of the afternoon. 200% plus of ADR, a new volatility window that we're opening into. And again, to fail here at the market structure level of 24.5 would open up 22.5 down below, and the midline, which would be 23.5. So again, we have transition beginning to look like it's already playing out in this market. And if that's going to be the case, we have a drop that could easily take place into this zone right here between 22K and 22.5. A lot of major data points in that zone on a reversion to the mean type of play. Now, if this is going to rally, keep an eye on that Friday low. That's the key range low right there. I've taken that key range off since, but that's a key level right there. To reject it and hold above it could bounce us up in the very near term. But maybe the damage is already being done, and we could be looking at further rotations to the downside ahead. All right, looking at crude oil. Down 1% right now. Dipping a little bit lower here. On that day here, we were looking for price to kind of drop through that low. It's taken a few days, and now we've gotten in there. Now that we've gotten there, do we bounce it right back up? We're in a kind of downward sloping channeling type of price action here, but staying in the middle 50% of the wider key range, the impulse rally that played out here. What we're looking for right now is further development of this range, but with a little bit of a bounce. We're coming into the end of the bearish seasonal window here for crude oil, and that could lead to a bounce opportunity up ahead once the that seasonal bearishness flushes out. So we could be gearing up for a very nice rally down the road. Right now, got to be patient at the moment. Looking at gold futures, you'll see right here gold going very compressed here after quite a bit of volatility. That's normal here to see that type of price action. It's normal to kind of really get super compressed around a pivot here, and that's really the 4,000 level has been that level, and a little bit higher in the 4,100. We got a very narrow range again. Continue to avoid the chop. If you want to be in on something like this, you want to be patient for an edge play. It might take a while, but if we get a test at say 3,900, that could be a tremendous follow back up to 42 to 42.50. So right now, very much compressed. Got to let it kind of do its thing for a little bit here, and then it could provide some opportunities. Now, the big news here is Bitcoin. Bitcoin and Ether both dropping significantly downward here in overnight trading, and just ahead of the European Open, we had a mini flash crash in Bitcoin, where price dropped pretty quickly. It happened in ETH as well. You can see it right here, say in the 4-minute chart, where price drops right there. Bang, that mini flash crash. And that's something we've been talking about in our trading room, that given the magnitude of weakness that we've seen, we've yet to see one of those mini flash crashes, which can really take us down in chunks and get us down quickly. This is our 100K market structure level, and today's low, 80,750. We're just off the 75K market structure level. This is left behind in the dust. That one left behind in the dust. Remember when we rallied 6 days here to the upside? We quantified it using our advanced ADR indicator and said we usually turn at that point. And if we're turning up here, we may see a return back to 100K, the bottom of the market structure. That would be a great spot to look for a failure or a bounce. And in this case, we're failing. We're failing in a big way. So that 75K and S3, big time zone right there. That's a zone where we could get a great opportunity at a short-term bounce. That opportunity could turn into a longer-term bounce or not. There's nothing to say that this correction can't take us through 75 and into 50K down below. That's the market structure we're in right now. We're in this one here, and we're transitioning to this lower one, and the next lowest is here. You got to think in 3 distribution moves. This is 1. We're doing 2. Do we get 3 out of this thing? So again, like I mentioned before, like we did earlier this year, you got to stand off until it gives us a reason to buy into our zone. Right now, still flash crashing lower, which is very significant, and could ultimately hold the broader equity market down. All right, looking at ETH, this one also got a mini flash crash as well at the very same time, getting as low as about 26.50 on that move. We've since gotten lower, 26.30s on this drop. The low actually 26.27.5. Up, down, up, down, up, down hard. We've talked about it over and over. Even if we were to bounce, we continue lower in all likelihood until we see a strong rejection. The fact that we've broken down now through 2,900 after bouncing down off of 36.50, very significant. The next level down, 21.50 and 25.71. That is the 100% target from this key range. We're almost there already. In all likelihood, we'll get there very shortly. But the fact that we're through 2,900, does that open up 21.50? Does that drop us into the next level down, 1,400? That's going to be something to keep an eye on as well. So do we wipe it out all the way back down? And like I mentioned before, we've seen it happen before. We could see it do it again. So anything's on the table. If we get back in this zone, tremendous buying opportunity yet again. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out here heading into the weekend. Please give me a big thumbs up And like, share, and subscribe. As always, you can find us at the PivotBoss Premium Trading Room. Link in the description below. Everyone have a great weekend. I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.